What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here for another Monday morning NFL hot take, quick take, whatever you want to call this video, talking about the things moving and shaking from week 3 of the NFL season. Only got a couple players I want to talk about today, and one thing that I want to hit on. So we will try, I know I always say this and rarely do, to keep this short today. So recording this, once again, I kind of like to throw this out there, Sunday evening prior to the NBC primetime game. So if something absolutely crazy happens to Aaron Rodgers or whatever, I have not seen that happen yet. So with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff down below, and let's go ahead and dive into some stuff. Before we do, I do have one thing that I need to talk about. I would have mentioned this in the Sunday morning video, but I didn't know about it at the time. 2 of my friends in the hobby, Sam from Women of the Hobby and the team over at Rated Rips, who is a local breaker to me. It's a husband-wife duo along with some other employees that they have, but they set up at a lot of my local shows. I've come to know them over the last 6 to 8 months. Great people. Michaela from Rated Rips, is teaming up with Sam from Women of the Hobby to run a free break. So I will link to the IG post from Women of the Hobby in the description down below for you guys and girls to go check out, and you can enter that to potentially win a spot in a free break. So this is just something Rated Rips does once a month. They usually team up with someone to do a free break for people that have not previously broken with them, and this month they are teaming up with Women of the Hobby. So go check out Sam's post. You'll see all the details in there that you need to get into this free break. No questions asked. You just got to follow a couple people on IG and tag a couple people, and you are good to go. So check that out, and then come back, or just do it after the video. Come back, and then we'll dive into some football stuff. 3 players, we'll call 3.5 players I want to talk about today. Herbert, Allen, Darnold, and we're going to touch on Mahomes really quickly. Of course, in the Sunday morning video, I talked about how, boy, if Herbert has like one more bad week and Allen has like one more bad week, there's going to be interesting buying opportunities to hop in on. And, well, they didn't. And their prices already came back up again. So that window closed pretty quickly. Herbert base Prism PSA 10, you could see here over the last 90, but just in this last few days here, let me blow this down to 60 days or 30 days. You could see definitely trending down since the start of the season, as he kind of, I don't want to say struggled, but just, didn't live up to expectations. His base Prism got all the way down to $400. As of time of recording, this one just ended. I actually waited to record the video for this to end at $470. There's another one about to end in 17 minutes going for $460. There's a pair of them going for almost $1K. So that window has slammed shut, at least for now. That's what happens when you come out, play well, and beat the Chiefs. So not a huge bounce back, but back up to close to $500. That would put it back to almost week 1 prices. Let's see, on 9/16 it was $484, $490, $483. Yeah, basically right back to week 1 prices. So, if you were into them for around that, you got back to even. Just depends where you got in at on where this sits for you. Or maybe you scooped a couple up at 400. Use that last comp to your advantage and grabbed some. With football, I tend to try to get greedy, if you will, on the buying the dip side. I would rather wait the extra week than dive in a week too soon, if that makes sense. Like, if you went into Herbert for $400 a card, I get it. Not a bad buy. It's on its way down. Clearly, is it at the bottom yet? We don't know. Me, with football, I prefer to wait a little bit longer. Like, if they would have lost this week, I would have been really intrigued to dive into potentially some Herbert stuff on the low with the potential bounce back coming. That takes us to our next thing, and you can pretty much just rinse and repeat everything we just said. Josh Allen, PSA 10 base Prism. This is going back about a week, or 2 weeks rather. down 20%, 170 bucks from 1,000 to 830. You could see the last couple sold here. Even got down to 800 during the week and then slowly started to bounce up in the run up to this coming week. Only one has sold today, and someone smacked a bin at 980. Just straight up buy it now at 980 bucks. This one is on auction for 830, so we'll see what this one ends at. It's got 2 hours left on it, but it's already 830 bucks. So with 2 hours to go, it's already sitting at the last comp price. So I feel pretty good about that. Probably creeping back up to 900. It's at least going to be over the last comp. And they looked absolutely fantastic today. I talked about it in the Sunday morning video. They started a little bit slow. Didn't look super great against Pittsburgh at all. They won in week 2, but Allen really didn't need to do much because they just kind of dominated that game. Today, he just put up monster numbers. I think he had like 5 touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 rushing. I don't remember the exact numbers, but he had a massive week. So it's exactly what everyone thought that he was going to be. He just had a slow 2 weeks to start the season. And we'll see. Now, the trick is do these prices maintain? They spike back up again, but he is going to need to keep playing well to hold those prices. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks, how things play out with them. Last one I wanted to talk about is Sam Darnold. PSA 10 base prism. This thing's up to almost 170 now, up 36%. They obviously played, and that's over the last 30 days. They played in the Thursday night game and won. I actually talked to, and I forget the gentleman's name, but we talked at the Canton Card Show on Sunday morning. I'll talk about the Canton Card Show in tomorrow's video probably because I did make a trade there. I posted about it on IG, and I kind of want to have a larger conversation about that. So I'll save that stuff for tomorrow's video. We were talking about Darnold, and actually another viewer that watches the channel also picked up some Darnold stuff prior to this week, a couple weeks ago. And to me, and I own no Darnold, so I have no skin in this game. Darnold, to me, is the perfect, I've made my money, let me get the hell out of this guy. I'm just not a big Darnold / Panthers believer. Sorry, Sam from Women of the Hobby. She's a big Panthers fan and a season ticket holder, I believe. So, but, you lost Christian McCaffrey. The team is okay. They've had a very easy schedule to start the season, and Darnold's taken advantage of that, yes. But he's the perfect type of player I don't want to push my luck with. You probably got into him in the offseason for next to nothing. Just take the money and run. Sure, could he keep playing well, and could it keep going up? Yes, that is an outcome on the flow chart that could happen. Most likely, he's going to turn into a pumpkin or just get back to normal, and they're going to lose a couple games. And his prices are going to come down, and they're going to come down fast. With this football market, I don't think it's worth it to get greedy and try greedy on the profit side of things. I think it's worth it to get greedy on the buying side of things and wait this stuff out. That's just me personally. But on the selling side of things, if it goes up 30, 40%, and I could get out of it and turn a nice little profit even after eBay fees and everything, I'm pulling the trigger and letting it go. And Darnold is the perfect test case for that example. 3 weeks in, he's up, he's playing decently, he's a buzzy name. I would be looking to move as soon as possible. That's just me. A guy I talked to today that also talked to him at the 101 trade night. He had 2 optic hollows, was into them relatively cheap. They're up, I think he said like 125, 150 bucks. He's got 2 of them. At minimum, if you're in a situation like that with Darnold, whether it's optic hollows or something different, at minimum, I would be selling one of those off to help cover the costs on the second one that you're going to keep. That way, if he does turn into a pumpkin, you at least have covered a lot of your downside risk. Personally, if it was me, normally I like selling off one and free rolling another one, or limiting the downside risk on the second one. In a player like Darnold, I think I would just sell it all out and just be done and move on to the next thing. I would rather sell Darnold and take that money and go buy baseball, which no one cares about right now. I mean, it's just a big shell game. You know, you move it from one place, you slide it over here to the next place, move it all around, shuffle it around. You know, move it to where people aren't looking. People are looking at Sam Darnold right now. Sell it. They're not looking at baseball right now. Go buy baseball or go buy an NBA player that hasn't gone up yet, and then just rinse and repeat. That's the game. That's the whole game. Last player I want to talk about really quickly. I don't have any cards or charts and graphs to show. Someone asked in my comments on Sunday afternoon, Mahomes dip, question mark. I'm not seeing it yet, but dips on stuff like Mahomes is going to take for auctions to end. A couple auctions ended today, right around end of game time on some optic base, nothing crazy. They ended about where you would expect them to end at. Mahomes would need to dip for multiple weeks, and it could happen. I mean, we literally saw this play out last year with his optic PSA 10. I'll pull it up real quick just to have an example here. You know, he had the little knee thing last season, played okay in the middle of the season, was just kind of whatever, and his prices dipped way down. Then the second half of the season started, he started kicking ass, and his prices soared right back up again. Let me go from August 1st. So, you know, here he is in the preseason, early September last year. This is his Optic Hollow base PSA 10. Early in the season last year, it was going for about $1,000 to $1,200. 1,000, yeah, let's just call it 1,200, 1,100. Let's call it 1,100. As we moved into October, it started sneaking down. It bottomed out in November around $900. And then you see the back end where it ran up as they turned it on in the second half of the season, made the playoff run, made the Super Bowl run, all that jazz. And then it dropped off like a cliff, literally, after they lost the Super Bowl. And then the offseason charts. But you could almost see it doing the exact, repeating itself over again. Starting to dip down through September. We see it here. It got up to, what was the high here? It was $2K. For his base optic. There's some 1900 sales, and currently it is, what is it at right now? 1,800 still. So it's not down a ton, but I wonder if it starts heading that way. So this is the last 7 days. Nothing crazy there. Last 30 days, it's basically been dead flat, 1% up. You know, I'm going to need multiple weeks of this for, I think not necessarily to see it. Obviously, you're going to buy a Mahomes dip. But I think it's going to take multiple weeks of them playing bad or him playing mediocre for it to actually dip. Because it's a kind of low pop. I mean, there's 3,200 of the base optic, but his Prism, there's not a ton of them out there. So it's going to take people selling at auction for the comps to drop on it. And then you have to find someone that's willing to sell at the new comps. And sometimes that's half the battle. So Mahomes dip, sure, if it's there, we're just not there yet. It's going to take weeks for a Mahomes dip to develop. Like, you know, you looked back at last year's stuff, it took multiple weeks to almost months for a full Mahomes dip to realize itself. They would have to just keep playing so-so, and then I think what could kick it into gear is maybe the NBA season starting and money kind of shifting gears over to the NBA. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. I'm going to pop off, go watch some Green Bay 49ers, see what happens there. Don't forget to go check out the free break from my boys and girls over at Rated Rips and Sam from Women of the Hobby. And we will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Tomorrow's video will probably be about... I'm going to touch on the Canton Card Show, but I want to pull a topic out of that because I made a nice trade at the Canton Card Show with Christian from One of One. And I want to talk about that and kind of trading up and how that could benefit you. So that's all I have. Catch you guys and girls tomorrow. Peace.